Well, howdy folks, and welcome to a brand new episode of CNB here on the NDTV network. I'm Siddharth Vinayak Partnkar. We've got a whole lot coming your way over the next half hour. At the very top though, we want to talk about a new brand. Now, some of you have seen me talking about this on Twitter and on Facebook. It is Datsun. Now, Nissan is reviving this brand specifically for some markets, and India is right at the heart of all of that. So we have a little bit of an insight for you on the strategy, the kind of products you can expect. Here's a quick look at what you can expect from Datsun then. And remember that the first global debut, the first product, will be out next week.
The arrival of a new brand is always seen as important by any new market. But when it's a new brand for the world, one making its global debut, it becomes pretty exciting. We travel to the headquarters of the Nissan Motor Company in Yokohama, Japan, to understand what the company is trying to do as it revives an old legacy. Datsun will return as a new car brand aimed specifically at emerging markets. Renault Nissan boss Carlos Ghosn has for long wanted to attack that end of the mass market, and he isn't simply seeking volumes, he's also going after profitability.
Now, it wasn't too long ago, it was just in 2010 that the Nissan global management took this crucial decision to go after what's looking like a very important new customer, very important new set of markets. We're not just talking about the kind of volumes potential that the emerging markets are throwing up, it's also the future growth potential, because remember, brands like Nissan, global car companies, are struggling in what have been their developed or their strong markets in the past. And so it was crucial to not just look at this individual customer, but also the kind of aspirations that customer has, which is where the idea first came to revive the Datsun brand.
Since Nissan is seen as fairly high-end and Renault is mid to high-end in most markets that they both operate in, Ghosn green-lighted the return of Datsun. Sure, Renault Nissan have Dacia, the Romanian brand made famous by the Logan and Duster, at their disposal, but Datsun aims squarely at an aspirational middle class in 4 markets: India, Russia, Indonesia, and now South Africa, which was recently added to the initial 3. And India gets the first car.
As you said, we are targeting markets where there's a large emerging middle class. I mean, that is the only common criteria, and then every country has its own history, conditions, and opportunities. Now, why India as one of the key markets is obviously a correlation of the size, the economic development, the fantastic and extremely dynamic emerging middle class, the engineering capability, the industrial policy, and so on. Why launch the first Datsun car in India? I think it's just a form of a celebration of this, what we call two-way partnership that Nissan Motor wants to develop with India. We are employing, I think, in total more than 10,000 people in India today. We have an amazing set of engineers. We are developing a full scope of capabilities from what we call market intelligence, product development, engineering, production engineering, preparation, manufacturing, and distribution. And I think you all know that our CEO, Mr. Ghosn, has coined frugal engineering and has elevated, I would say, India as the birthplace of frugal engineering. So there's both rationale and passion in the choice of launching Datsun, the first Datsun car in India in mid-July.
Now, one huge asset that Team Datsun had at its disposal was the fact that it was part of Nissan, part of a huge global car maker, which means you already have access to things like components, existing car platforms. And so the development cycle required, as well as the costs required to do that development, were both significantly reduced.
But that didn't mean taking everything from the Nissan parts bin, including that very attractive V platform which already spawns the Micra and Sunny in India.
There is one very peculiar difference between, I would say, V platform and the Datsun. As we said, it's a global brand with a local product, so which means we don't use the word localization. And we mean it. When we mean it, because this does not exist anywhere. So because India is the mother country, it is local. Now the question comes, when we do local, the target should not be local. The target should be the competitiveness in terms of performance, in terms of cost, in terms of delivery. Which means when we do the overall balancing of what we are trying to do, we may land up in some global sourcing, but that's not the objective. The objective is to be local. And when we do local, if we find some common assets across the alliance, definitely we will go for it, because it gives the economy of scale.
Datsun will have 2 cars of India that arrive in 2014. The first will be a hatchback, priced at an estimated 3 lakh rupees. The brand is making its global debut in India next week, a proud moment for our industry, no doubt, and we will be there to bring you much more.
One of the most enigmatic and successful global corporate leaders, the CEO of Renault and Nissan, Carlos Ghosn, will be in India next week for the Datsun World Premiere. CNB will hold a town hall with Mr. Ghosn at IIT Madras, and we want you to be a part of it. Post the questions you want to ask him on ndtv.com/Siddharth or on the second screen on the NDTV app on your smartphone or tablet. So as we keep track of the new brands headed to our market, it's also nice to keep an eye on the new technology that comes our way every now and then. One of the companies that is at the forefront of that, and especially for us in the emerging markets, we've seen a whole lot of products coming and a whole lot of innovations, in fact, coming from this brand. It's Bosch, and once a year, the company likes to open its doors, let us in, take a look at what's coming up in terms of future technologies. So here's a bit of what we managed to catch.
Okay, so we're here at Boxburg to check out some of the cutting-edge technology from Bosch, not just in the car and two-wheeler space, but also in bikes like these, which have kind of cutting-edge technology. If you look at the driver assist available on this, different modes, turbo, sport, in terms of the pedal pressure that you want to apply. Also, the battery here is extremely lightweight, and you really can't make out if there's a battery at all on this bike itself. It also has a top speed of about 45 kilometers per hour, which really means that you need to have a license to drive this on German roads. Let's go check out some more innovation from Bosch in the car space now.
So let's just jump straight into the future of mobility, shall we? If you were impressed with the Google driverless car that came out last year, Bosch takes it a notch up with its version of automated driving. At the touch of a button, the car takes control and drives with total ease, aided by surround radar and video sensors and driver assists.
Okay, you'll be pretty amazed at what the electronic chauffeur, or the e-chauffeur, like I want to call it, can do on the roads. But what really stands out for me is the adaptive cruise control, which not only judges the distance of the car ahead of you, but also, like we're doing right now, braking and accelerating according to this, judging and adapting the speed and distance of the car. So right now we're just going to brake for a bit because the car ahead has just braked. It's braked, and as you can see, the car's head is moved and it's automatically accelerating. Pretty cool feature. Also, the other big advantage that you're going to get on the automated driving is the lane assist feature. It's very useful on the highway when you're going behind slow moving traffic like a large truck. It automatically changes the lane, and makes that overtaking very smooth.
Bosch expects these electronic chauffeurs to be market ready by the end of the decade, essentially for European and US markets. Don't think it's replacing our Indian drivers very soon though. But what could be of great relevance in markets like India is the new stereo video camera from Bosch. With a single sensor, it triggers an automatic emergency braking procedure to avoid collisions with pedestrians crossing the street.
So we're recreating a India traffic-like situation where you have a car parked on the road and you have a pedestrian pretty much crossing without looking on the left, and Mr. Dummy has volunteered to be brave enough to try out the emergency braking system. Let's see how he does.
But wait, there's more. A construction zone driver assist that allows for hands-free driving in tight, crowded lanes. Just as you enter the lane, take your hands off the steering wheel to let it take control and make adjustments to ensure the car stays precisely in the center without any danger of crashing into the side barricades. We also managed to get a glimpse of the new electrical powertrains being developed by Bosch and also put the new plug-in hybrid engine for larger cars to the test on the oval Boxberg track. Bosch says the large cars with regular combustion engines will not meet the stricter Euro emission guidelines for 2020 and expects car makers to equip their cars with these high-performance hybrid systems. But even Bosch admits electromobility is still some time away, and for now it will be the petrol direct injection systems and the common rail diesel injection system that will be their focus, especially in markets like India and China. With innovations on engines and driver assistance technologies on overdrive, the future of mobility doesn't seem that far away.
It's time for us to slip into a short break here. We've got plenty more coming up on the other side. And of course, as always, as we slip into that commercial break, a look at all the big news from the auto world. Our pick from the second screen questions this week from you is coming from Aman. The question, should I buy the Passat or wait for the new Skoda Octavia? Well, Aman, the two cars aren't comparable as they're not from the same segment. If you want something that's new and of course you're looking at a slightly lower budget, the Octavia is worth waiting for, as we've already showed you on the program. If you want a more luxurious and larger car, go ahead with the Passat. Welcome back to the show. Now, the last few weeks we've really been running packed on the program, haven't we? There's just been so much to bring you. There's a car that I've been wanting to show you for some time now. It's already driven into the Indian market. It's the facelifted version of the E Class from Mercedes-Benz. Here's our review.
Close on the heels of two crucial launches with the B and the A Class, Mercedes-Benz has now played its trump card in India. Its best-selling luxury sedan, the E Class, gets a midlife makeover, looking younger and sportier as well. It's been 4 years since the current generation E Class was launched, and this major upgrade is timely enough given the stiff competition from BMW and Audi. The company is quick to point out that there are 2,000 new components in this update and so claims that this goes further than a simple facelift.
Now the E Class continues to be as classy as ever, doesn't it? And despite these new lines appearing on the front as well as on the side, the overall design language of the car continues to be classy with a touch of sportiness. And it's from the front really you see that sporty appeal coming through with these new headlamps as well as the front bumper. But it's really the grille that really stands out for a lot of people. These new two chrome strips with that big star giving that sporty, bold look for the car. Interestingly, this star is also available as an illuminated accessory for people who like to show off that they own the star, and it actually glows when the car is stationary.
Well, we know which markets up north in India are going to love that, don't we? The face of the car looks way more contemporary now with the all-new LED headlamps. The integrated three-pointed star logo on the grille is a first on the E Class. New LED tail lamps, a new rear bumper and a very sporty looking quad exhaust make the car look pretty cool, and yes, new too from the rear, enhanced further by a wide stance. There is a significant feature line along the side which helps to take a few years off the car too, and you gotta love the 18-inch AMG alloys, right? The updated E has been launched in India with two engine options. The 2-litre petrol generating 184 bhp and 300 Nm of torque. Mercedes-Benz's 7G Tronic automatic transmission powers the car from 0 to 100 in 7.9 seconds. On the CDI, there is 204 bhp of power and 500 Nm torque available, and it is quicker to get to 100 km per hour in 7.5 seconds. We drive the E250 CDI on the wet winding roads leading from Bekkal to Madikeri. The car's suspension maintains its original stiff European feel, unlike the car it's replacing, which was softened for comfort on Indian roads. So thudding in and out of potholes wasn't exactly comfortable. The steering felt light and yet precise and was able to take narrow and wide turns with equal ease. The not-so-loud 4-cylinder turbocharged engine seems tuned for fuel efficiency, as it's not a fire starter, and that's emphasized with an eco start-stop feature. Inside the cabin, you get new, larger leather seats that boast good shoulder room and under-thigh support. The multi-zone climate control system has been carried over, and the new Mercedes-Benz command system now gets navigation and a DVD system. There is a panoramic sunroof now, which we sadly couldn't really enjoy thanks to the downpour that we drove through.
Now the luxury quotient inside the new E Class is just a notch higher with some of the new design elements that they've brought inside this cabin. Also not just comfortable but also safe. In terms of the safety features the E Class comes with. You have the pre-safe function which anticipates collision scenarios, and also you have the LED intelligent function which makes sure that you have maximum visibility in different driving conditions.
The LED intelligent light system offers an adaptive high beam assist plus, which allows you to drive with the high beam headlamps turned on without blinding the oncoming traffic. The new E Class has been priced at 41.5 lakh rupees for the petrol and 44 lakh 80,000 rupees for the diesel. There is a limited run of 100 units of the launch edition diesel priced at 50 lakh rupees. These prices are ex-showroom Delhi.
Now right through this episode you must have been wondering where I've been standing and what this is doing with me. Well, I can now let you in on it. I am coming to you this week from Northern California. This is the Rubicon Trail in the Sierra Nevada mountains, and it is this vehicle that's brought me here, quite literally in fact, right up here to the top of the mountains. And we're going to bring you details on the Jeep brand, all the legacy as well as of course the off-roading skill and capability that goes with a vehicle like the Wrangler. The reason? Well, remember, Jeep will be coming to the Indian market pretty soon, so we'll have those details for you on the program. You know how to get in touch with me. Please wear your seat belts. Please do wear your helmets. I'll see you next week.